Oh, I think I forgot to turn on the live chat. I'm washing my hands. I know there's nobody there, but there could be a replay crew later. Rewatch. Rewind. It really shouldn't be called rewatch if you haven't already watched it. But we call it rewatch anyway. It's YouTube. I mean, what are you going to do? Hi, sweeties. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Susan. Hi, Kiki. Hi, Chica's Chronicles. Hi, darling. Welcome. Carrie, baby, would you please, if you've got a moment, see if you can grab a link for Chico's Corrupt Chronicles, please. Hi, Weepy, and drop it in our chat. Hi, Pam. Yes, Weepy, you're catching alive. Hi, Grasshopper, jump a lot. Oh, you're welcome, Chico. Absolutely. I love your channel. As a matter of fact, I respect your channel, which, if you have a mind that works anywhere near like mine, you would rather be respected than loved. But I think you get me. I think you get it. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, honey. So what's... Oh, I got a kitty over here trying to cough up a hairball in the floor, if you hear that. Guys, I'm hanging out during verdict watch of the Leilani Simon trial. And I've got my big screen over on a channel called Queen Bee that I love a lot and respect a lot because she has left that live stream running while she's doing a live on her other channel called The Hive. And Carrie, thank you for being here. I've been thinking an awful lot about you the last week or so, and you know why, so just sending really good vibes your way, love. So anyway, I need to put together, or want to put together, a cabbage ramen noodle salad to go with our dinner this evening. I like to do it several hours ahead of time so that the flavors, I don't know why I'm air quoting, in the dressing and whatnot have time to kind of, you know, what would be the word I want? Not blend, but, you know, get all up in there together. So I had just walked Rags the dog, and I really didn't want to change the channel because I don't want the jury to come back with the verdict and for me to miss it. And so I was kind of just pacing around, and I thought, you know what? You're curious, Chico? Okay, honey. It's very simple. It's very inexpensive. And it's a recipe. I don't know where it originated, but I got it probably 15 years ago from a biker chick friend of mine. We were having an event at my husband's motorcycle clubhouse. Hi, Crime Creepy. Carrie, darling, would you please drop a link when you can for Crime Creepy? Crime Creepy, I love your short. I'm not sure it uploaded this morning. I watched it this morning. Anyway, so we were having like a potluck at the motorcycle clubhouse. And this salad was on the smorgasbord. And I took a little and it was so good, I had to go back and get some more. Then I had to go find out who brought it. And then I had to write down the recipe. Now, I've made this so many times that I pretty much know the recipe by heart, but I got it out just to remind me in case. So that's what's going on, darlings. Now, you feel free while I'm messing around here, of course, as always, to chat about thank you, Carrie, to chat about whatever you want to chat about, so long as you are respectful one to another, and so long as you don't violate YouTube's terms of service. This is an open chat room. So if you want to talk about cases that you're interested in, have been interested in, I know the Boone, Sarah Boone, I believe her jury is deliberating right now as well, unless I've missed it. If you want to chat about recipes, flower gardening, or tweezing the hairs from your chin, please feel free to do so. Because my name is Susan and the channel is Lip Locked No More, I feel that the Lip Locked No More should also extend to those in the chat room. So we're pretty footloose and fancy free, just in case you're new. I want you to know that. Hi, Luminous. We're pretty footloose and fancy free over here, okay? And the goal of this channel also, if you're a new viewer and maybe you're considering subscribing, we're attempting to provide a more lighthearted, just kind of a chill out, hangout for those of us in this sector of YouTube that are interested in things like trials, true crime, the missing, things of that nature. And we also discuss some pretty hardcore stuff over here as well. But today is not one of those days, at least for me. Y'all discuss hardcore, whatever you would like, because once I start doing what I'm doing, I won't be able to look at your chat. And I hope I have seen everybody and said hi to you. Chico, I'm glad you appreciate it, honey. Thank you. That makes me feel good. Carrie, you do the most beautiful displays. Because y'all, Chico handles really heavy stuff. When people, in my opinion, here on YouTube use the genre term true crime much too loosely. Chico's Corrupt Chronicles is a true crime channel. So I met Chico, air quotes, Chico in a chat. I can't remember specifically whose chat. Hi, Dina. I get probably nonsense. Chico, I think that you're a mod for nonsense, because wherever I air quote met you, I'm pretty sure you were a mod. But the first time I heard you speak, you went up on somebody's panel. So that wouldn't have been nonsense. But that's where Chico grabbed me up here. And I went, okay, I'm going to go to that person's channel because I like what's coming out of her mouth. So, yeah, I don't either, Chico, but probably nonsense. Or have you, Chico, I'm going to do the salad. Did you ever grab a link and go up on the Vault Excel? Thank you, Carrie, for stepping up to Chico. I don't know why, but I keep feeling like that it was, no, you haven't been on Quain's. Okay, well, nonetheless, I respect you and I appreciate the work that you do. And as somebody I've never met, I love your personality. So, yeah. All right. So, first thing I got to do is preheat my oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And then take the cast iron out of it. The cast iron that I use daily, I keep it in the oven. My husband said one time, he said, who keeps their skillets in the oven? I said, I do. I do. Okay, so we're preheating at 250. All right, so here we go. Hi, I'm too honest for this. Oh, wait. I think I probably need to move you guys over a little bit. Now, generally speaking, okay, generally speaking, this calls for either Napa cabbage or bok choy. Because of budgetary reasons, and because it's just my husband and I, so I can't use an entire head at once, and it'll go bad on us. But we do eat regular head cabbage, okay? That's what I use. But if you prefer, and it's actually a little tastier with the bok choy, and of course has a different texture. If you're picky about the texture of your food, you might want to experiment if you want to try this. But this way, I can use like a quarter of a head of regular cabbage and then have cabbage for other things like rumpledy-thumps, a Scottish dish, or just or fried cabbage, or cabbage rolls, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, but the first thing we got to do is make the dressing part. So here we go. Well, no, actually, yes, actually. Now I've already pre-measured, and if you want to make more, all you have to do is double the recipe. And the measurements are easily doubled. You don't have to do a bunch of fractions and all of that business, okay? So let's see. What are you looking at? What y'all looking at? And I hope we're not pixeling, and I don't know if we are or not. Okay. I'm just going to use a pint jar. Oh, and by the way, if you're new, this is not a cooking channel either. I do this sometimes for funsies. All right. Now, so this is a half a cup of canola oil. You can use corn oil, vegetable oil, safflower oil, any of those type oils. I don't recommend that you use olive oil because the ingredients are not necessarily complementary to olive oil, or olive oil isn't necessarily complementary to the ingredients. But you can if you want to. But anyway, we've got a half a cup of oil. One quarter of a cup of regular granulated sugar. Along with, and I've already pre-measured, this is 3 tablespoons of regular white vinegar. Now, you may notice I've got a bottle of balsamic vinegar sitting here. I love balsamic vinegar and tend to use it more than other vinegars. However, because of the coloring of balsamic vinegar, babies, it taints the color of the salad itself. And when I'm using fresh produce and going to present it as a salad or a side dish, I like for it to look pretty. Presentation is very important when it comes to food. At least in my opinion, it is. Okay, so I'm going to use the white vinegar for the dressing that the salad is going to be tossed with. But then on my own personal portion, I'm going to add a little dab of good old balsamic vinegar. Okay. Generally speaking, I would use, let me get this packet of flavoring out of here, like a shrimp flavor, but I don't have a shrimp flavor ramen noodle in my pantry today, so I'm using chicken flavor. This is the packet of seasoning out of the one package of ramen noodles. And it's going to go in our jar with the oil, the sugar, the vinegar. And we're going to shake the living daylights out of it. And I'll keep picking it up and shaking it from time to time. Okay? But for right now, we're just going to sit it to the side. We're going to set it to the side, not sit it. Okay. The noodles. Now, I know that some of my viewers, you may not have, for different reasons, what you might need, the strength or whatever, dexterity in your hands to crush these noodles like this. It's okay, babies. Take something and whack the crap out of them. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay? So if you have trouble with this kind of thing right here, figure out another way. You can do it. Okay? Now, we want those broken up pretty small. And by the way, I was washing my hands when I started the live stream. So yes, I have clean hands. Let me go ahead and break these up a little more. This is an ungreased cookie sheet, but you can use any oven safe pan. Got some on the floor, but that's okay. I'll deal with it later. Okay. Slivered almonds. If you are allergic to nuts or MSG, I don't recommend this because the seasoning for the ramen noodles, I'm pretty sure has MSG in it. I didn't double check. So if you're going to do this and you have issues with MSG, make sure you get one that does not have MSG. And if you have an allergy or whatever with nuts, other than, you know, I'm a nut, but sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Okay. But it does call for slivered almonds. And I don't have any food allergies. And we want, okay, so this was one package of the noodles on an ungreased, oven-safe baking pan. This is a 1/8 cup measure because I use my 1/4 cup measure for the vinegar, So I need 1/4 of a cup of slivered almonds. So I'm just going to do 2/8. Okay. All right, and I kind of toss them up a little bit. Now the only tedious kind of part of this recipe is watching these in the oven, okay? Because they will go from just right to burnt plumb up pretty quick if you don't watch them and turn. So let me take the oven off of preheat, put it on bake. Again, 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm putting that in the oven. And I'm reaching behind you and getting my mama's, where's my mama's spoon? Give me my mommy's spoon. Oh, y'all, the judge, hang on. Hang on. They just called court back into session. Hang on. Darlings, I'm turning my oven off. I've turned it off. Hang on. This is Queen Bee. I know she's not going to, if anybody wants to go over there, it's not going to bother me if you go. We got a verdict in the Leilani Simon trial.
The verdict is in. Here we go.
I'm watching this on Queen Bee. She won't strike me.
All right. And you may, if you would please call in jury. Angel.
Oh, y'all, I'm trembling. Okay. That, of course, is Layla. Okay, the jury's entering. Chico, I hope so, honey. There are a lot of people that think that they were unable, that the state was unable to prove malice murder.
All right. Thank you, Deputy Smith. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you may have a seat. Thank you very much. And I understand that you have received verdict. I just want to say,
Hi, Grammy B.
First of all, to those who are in the audience, there has been a jury verdict reached. To everyone in attendance, and many of you have been here for quite some time, I will ask that there not be any emotional reactions and no disruptive outbursts. So at this point, I am going to ask the foreperson to please stand. Juror 5. And have you reached a verdict?
Yes, we have.
Was it unanimous?
Yes, it was.
Has the verdict been filed in or filled in and signed and dated by you?
Yes, it has.
And if you would please hand the verdict to Deputy Solomon.
Oh, my heart's beating so fast. Please, God.
Deputy Solomon for handing that up.
Please, God.
Carrie, I'm sorry if y'all are even having a hard time hearing because of my breathing. I need to settle down. Yes, Susan, justice for Quentin. Whatever it may be, dear Lord, let it be justice for the baby.
I'm going to ask counsel to approach and take a look at the verdict form.
Darlings, if you want to, please feel free to fill our chat with blue hearts for 20-month-old Quentin Simon, who allegedly lost his life at the hands of this woman, his mother, Leilani Simon. The verdict is in. The state attorneys and the defense attorneys are currently at the bench reviewing the verdict. The verdict is unanimous. Thank you for the blue hearts.
As to the verdict, it reads as follows. We, the jury, find as follows: malice murder. We find the defendant guilty. Count 2,
Guilty.
felony murder. We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty.
Count 3, felony murder. We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty.
Count 4, concealing the death of another. We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty.
Count 5, false report of a crime. We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty.
Count 6, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty.
Count 7, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty.
Count 8, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty.
Yeah,
Count
goodbye,
9,
bitch.
Making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 10, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 11, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 12, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 13, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 14, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 15, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty.
Yes, Kiki, thank you,
Count
Jesus.
16, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 17, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. Count 18, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty. And count 19, making a false statement. We find the defendant guilty.
Guilty on all counts. Okay.
And is there anything further from the state? From the defense?
Guilty on all charges.
So, members of the jury, this is something that very often happens. You will be asked questions by the clerk.
All right, darlings, I understand if you want to go to another channel for the remainder of the proceedings after the guilty verdict on all charges. Leilani Simon, guilty of malicious murder, felony murder, concealing the death of another, lying to law enforcement, and everything else. Yeah, faker. Oh, Lordy. So, darlings, as I said, I totally get it. If you want to go to another channel that is going to be continuing. Right now, I'm going to turn my oven back on and finish making a ramen noodles. Okay, turn the oven back on. Y'all, I'm but I found Mama's spoon. Okay, y'all, I think I
on an October day. Actually, in the middle of the night, it would appear. 20-month-old Quentin Simon's life was taken by his own mother. She took him and threw him, his little body, in the trash. I am so grateful to those that I personally consider as the heroes who work tirelessly in a landfill Thank you, FBI. Thank you, Chatham County, Georgia, law enforcement. Thank you to every expert who testified after having done their analysis in order to appropriately establish the chain of evidence and the testimony that has brought Leilani Simon to justice insofar as we humans are able to mete it out. I need to wash my hands again. Sorry, guys. The snot is running. Yeah. Lordy mercy. I just washed my hands and now I got to blow snot again. Excuse me, just one moment. Okay, so another quick rinse off here. All right, now with our, my hands may tremble too much for me to cut those. And I'm not laughing or chuckling for any reason other than just nervous relief and release. So the important thing with the noodles and the slivered almonds is to keep stirring them around so that they don't burn and keep a good close eye on them. Doesn't take very long, and I can't really tell you how long it does take. It's just until they're a light golden brown. Oh, y'all. So, y'all, I don't know why, but y'all know how I am with the music and everything, and a song keeps coming into my head in relationship to Quentin. And I don't know why, but it is. So, sleep, my child, and peace attend thee. All through the night. Three green onions. I'm going to use 1/4 of an average size head of cabbage and 1/2 of a red bell pepper. Guardian angels, God will send thee. All through the night. Oh my goodness. La 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 da 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 da. Hill and vale in slumber sleeping. While I my loving. That's not quite 1/4 of a head. Vigil keeping all through the night. Now, just so y'all know, I already washed the cabbage. I already washed the pepper. And I already washed the onion. Let me check our noodles and slivered almonds. You want to keep those spread out pretty evenly and flat in that 250-degree oven. Now y'all know this ain't no cooking channel, and I cook like a granny. I don't have many newfangled gadgets because I don't want them. I saw somebody the other day on a cooking channel said they were going to put this meat they were using, they were going to put it in a meat grinder. I thought, oh, cool. And then they pulled their food processor out and plugged it in and put whatever that meat was, they put it into a food processor. And I looked over at my husband, I said, that's not a meat grinder. That's a damn food processor. Anyways, y'all can see, you cut it up to whatever size you want. But I like to cut it up to a size to where you get a little bit of everything that's in it. And y'all, look how much cabbage you get out of just 1/4 of an average size head. Okay, so we're going to put the cabbage in the bowl. Y'all, I opened up my phone this morning and I had an instant message from my second oldest granddaughter over in Oklahoma. And it was a picture. And the picture, which of course I will not show you, is of my only great-granddaughter, who just had her first school picture taken. My great-granddaughter just had her first school picture taken. Now, coming up here on the 29th, it's mine and Bob's wedding anniversary. Then the 30th, it's my birthday. Then the 31st, it's Halloween. Today is the mother of my great-granddaughters. Today is the birthday of my granddaughter that is the mother of my great-granddaughter over in Oklahoma. We got a lot going on towards the ends of October around here. Did I mention that my great-granddaughter had her first school picture taken? Anyway, we're going to rip that out and just throw that over yonder. I bet you if Aunt Virgie was here, she'd have something to say about all that too. But anyway, oh, let me stir my noodles in my nuts. Let me stir my noodles in my nuts. Okay. They're doing fine. So, I don't like that membrane part. By the way, this is also my mama's butcher knife. See, if I was a professional, this would just take one slice and I'd be able to do it real fast. And then the way they hold it, you know, where they're just chop, 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 chop. And they don't even, and they just keep moving. And they're like this, and they're like chop, 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 chop. And I'm like, Lordy mercy, what if you was to get your... So anyway, but I can hold a tater. I cut my fried taters. I cut my taters holding them in my hand. Slice them and everything. I'm just doing this way because I'm doing it on YouTube. Kitty, don't you jump up here. If you do, I'll have to stop and sanitize everything again, and I do not want to have to do that. So don't jump up here. So there's about a half of a red bell pepper that has been washed, de-seeded, and demembraned, and it's going in the bowl with the cabbage. And then I'm going to stir my nuts and my noodles again. Because see, it feels like it's taken forever for them to brown up a little bit. But like I told you, you got to keep it on because, boy, howdy, next thing you know, they're burnt plumb up. And what are you going to do? Start again, I reckon. All right, now, 3 green onions. So far, we have a 1/4 of a head of cabbage. But if you can't afford it and you like it, I actually recommend either Napa cabbage or bok choy. But this is good too, if you're on a budget, which most of us these days are. Whoa, death come knocking at that? Oh, we're going to chop these up if you hadn't noticed. Gambler's door and said, oh, gambler, are you ready to go? And he said, no, Lordy, no, Lordy. I'm going back and forth on purpose just to notice if you guys in my audience with your keen investigative skills are noticing I changed the direction of how I was pulling the blade or pushing it. No, 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 'cause I ain't got on my traveling shoes. Ain't done my duty, he said. Okay, now we're going to take them 3 green onions and we're going to put them with the cabbage and the bell pepper. And then we're going to take my mama's spoon and just kind of gently toss it around. Don't want to bruise it up. Now, I like this salad at Christmas time too, if you're a person that celebrates Christmas, because why? It's red and green and white like Christmas. I'm going to shake this puppy again. Remember this? This is our dressing. Remember the dressing? It is, let me remind myself, a half a cup of oil, a quarter of a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and a packet of seasoning from the ramen noodles. Did you notice I'm wearing a bra? Imagine if I were braless today in our kitchen cult in my handmade apron from Portugal, and I was doing this. Can you imagine? Think of the screenshots you would get. Think of the screen recording you could get from this if I were doing what I'm doing right now and I hadn't put a bra on. That's why it is called a wholesome from flopping. That's a European term for brassiere, which is French, which some might also consider European. But if you're European in my kitchen, you better clean it up. Let's check the noodles and the nuts. We've done all of that, and they're still not toasty brown. And I want them toasty brown. Now, do not under any set of circumstances lose your patience and turn up the heat in the oven. Don't do it. Remember in the past, you guys know how I love words. Remember when I told you what the word patient actually means? The definition? Waiting without complaint. Yeah. It's the without complaint part that makes you patient. Because if you're waiting and you're bitching while you're waiting, you're not patient. If you're waiting and you're not, why am I waiting so long? And you're just like, that's not patient. That's eye rolling, which is a form of complaining. Don't deny it. You know it's true. Don't argue. Okay, you can argue with me, but you won't win. I'm a great grandma. with a great-granddaughter who just got her first school picture taken. Did I happen to mention that? Yeah. I hope we're not pixeling. If we are, so as I was singing, before I so rudely interrupted myself, while we're waiting patiently, whoa, death come knocking on that gambler's door and said, oh, gambler, are you ready to go? He said, no, Lordy, no, Lordy, no, 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 I ain't got on my traveling shoes, ain't done my duty. He said, no, Lordy, no, Lordy, oh, no, no, I ain't got on my traveling shoes. Oh, death come knocking at that sinner's door. Said, oh, sinner, are you ready to go? She said, no, Lordy, no, Lordy. Oh, no, no, I ain't got on my traveling shoes. Death come a knocking at that liar's door. Said, oh, liar, are you ready to go? He said, no, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. Oh, no, no, Lord, I ain't got on my traveling shoes. I ain't done my duty. Oh, Lord, no, Lord, he said. Oh, no, Lord, I ain't got on my traveling shoes. Death come a knocking on that singer's door and said, hey, you singer, are ya ready to go? And I said, yes, Lordy, yes, Lordy, Lord, Lord, yes, 'cause I just got on my traveling shoes. I've done my duty. That's an old one called Traveling Shoes, obviously. While I am patiently waiting, is John McKinney here? Hi, John McKinney. Hi, Sally. Sally, I know. I've told you guys before, I have 3 great-grandsons and 1 great-granddaughter. And of the great-grandchildren, the great-granddaughter is the youngest. Did I mention she just got her first school picture? I wish I could show you, but it's YouTube. I like to think she kind of looks like me a little bit. Okay, let me see if the light is fooling me in here. the light in the oven. Is it fooling me? A little bit more. Kitty, don't you jump up there. Okay. She went on. I have to stand guard anytime I'm working on this counter because the rescue kitties, they're like, oh, what are you doing up there? I'm like, I'm doing something that requires you to not be anywhere near. I just sanitized and I don't want to do it again. Thank you. So anyway. I'm sure everybody knows by now that if you don't know and you haven't seen my community post from this morning, retired New York City police officer that we know as Duty Ron here on YouTube has received a diagnosis of cancer. So if you are a praying person, and many of you have already responded under this morning's community post where I merely asked you to pray for him. So if you're a praying person, prayers for Duty Ron during your prayer time, please, or light a candle for him. If you're not into prayer and that kind of thing, that's cool. You can send out some positive vibes and maybe just think in the color blue and push out some positive thoughts that whatever it is that Duty Ron has coming at him, that he will have the strength and the endurance that he needs, and that his wife that his wife will have the strength that she needs and the comfort of the Holy Spirit during this time of trial. I'm sure any of you who know about Duty Ron are aware that Duty Ron was a responder to the World Trade Center on September the 11th of 2001, along with many others. And as we know, on that day, many lost their lives. Duty Ron survived the day, but he is still dealing with, and with strength and tenacity that he has, he is still dealing with the aftermath of September 11th, 2001. And that's why I call him a hero. He put his life on the line voluntarily in order to save the lives of others. And that's a hero. Okay. I think my noodles are lightly goldened because I'm wanting a cigarette and we got to say goodbye. We've been on here an hour. And as the universe would have it, I wasn't home alone when I got to hear the verdict for Leilani Simon. It just, thank you all for being here with me. I think you've probably figured out by now that was pretty much, I needed some company waiting for the verdict. So thank you. Okay, so we have, I can't turn it up too far because they'll spill out, but these are our very lightly toasted. And it smells good, and you can toast them longer. Just don't burn them, okay? Hi, Patty. And we're just going to put them in. Oops. Good thing this isn't a cooking channel, huh? So, we don't even have to let them cool off. We're just going to put those in there with our cabbage, our bell pepper, and our green onion. Hope that doesn't fall and make a racket. Let's give her one more shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your dressing. Shake your dressing. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. We're going to pour the whole thing on there. Oh, by the way, here's what it. Okay. Oh, y'all, that smells so good. Okay. And then we're going to lightly toss it. And there we have it. Except I'm kind of persnickety, like I said, about presentation. And it needs to go in the refrigerator until supper time. I'm going to serve it with pork tenderloin and baked sweet potatoes. Real fiesta ware. If you look this up online, yeah, it's called a covered casserole. And I wish I could do a better job of showing you how pretty it is. Anyway. And see, even with using a smaller, like what I basically did here was I cut the original recipe in half, okay? So, let me see if I can do this. Hang on. You guys that have stuck here with me this long, you got to at least see how pretty it is in the bowl. If we're not pixeling like crazy. Okay, there we go. Let's get over here. And there we have our salad, which doesn't take nearly as long to make if you're not doing it on a live stream on YouTube. Okay, so. All right, guys. My phone just did that thing when I tapped it. And now I cannot. Okay, my screen says orientation is locked, rotate device back. If I do, it's going to. Oh, goodness. I don't know what to do. Okay, it did let me flip the screen back, and I don't know if it's all gray on your end, but it's all kind of gray on my end. It did that funky thing. Um, now I'm kind of locked out of my screen. But anyway, I hope you got a gander at it and put the lid on. And all of those flavors will combine over the next few hours. And I do like to take it out of the fridge about, I don't know, 15 to 30 minutes before I serve it so that it's coming back up to room temperature, because the flavors are more savory, in my opinion, at room temperature or close to room temperature. So into the fridge. And now I can kind of see your chat. So, all right, hi, Nada Dramanana. It's Pixel on your end, Sally. I'm sure it's all messed up now, honey, because of the way I turned the phone. So, I guess I'll go ahead and try to sing you out for anybody that's still here. Oops. So we'll try and say good, and then we'll say goodbye. And thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with me. So, all right. And Good Friday to everybody. It's not Good Friday, but I mean, like, yeah, okay, if you work, it's Friday. All right. What am gonna take a sentimental journey. I'm gonna set my heart at ease. I'm gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Sammy Sparrow. As I just said, I can barely see the screen because when it does this thing where it messes up like it is right now. Am I seeing that it's your birthday? All right then. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to one really super hot chick. Happy birthday to you. Boom, boom, ba da da dum, rim shot. Now, to renew old memories. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. And I'll be waiting up for heaven, too high, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Ba 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 boom. I never knew my heart could be so yearny. Whoa, why did I decide to roam? I'm gonna make a sentimental journey. Sentimental journey. Home. 'cause home sings me of sweet things, and there my life has its own wings to fly me over a mountain top. All right, darlings. Thanks again for being here with Susan. Live Luck No More. Please continue being kind one to another. You know it's not going to hurt you, and it's not going to make you whip out a debit card. It'll come back to you when you need it the most, and you're looking for it the least. Okay? Now, you little whippersnappers, get out of my kitchen. I got cleanup to do, and I got a feeling there ain't a one of you that's willing to come over here and help me clean up this mess I just made. So, go have a good day. 7. That's the time we'll leave at 7. And I'll be waiting up for heaven. I'm counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. See you on the flip-flop. I love you guys. Bye-bye.